Welcome to the channel, YouTube world. I've got some exciting news. FNIX Rising is now on the PS4. There's going to be a link down below as well. As always, if you want to read the patch notes at your own leisure, and it's a long effing patch notes. Yeah, I just woke up. This is the first thing I saw on Twitter, and I was like, I got to talk about it. So let's get right into it so that this video isn't like an hour long, but when it comes to Generation Zero, that wouldn't be a bad thing. Okay, our latest update finally brings FNIX Rising to PS4 and a brand new update for all platforms at the same time. Why do I keep raising my hand? I don't know. If you've missed it in the past, you can find what was included in the FNIX Rising here via our old patch notes. So in the link, there's going to be that link if you want to read it. But for this update, this current one, let's talk about the new stuff and the fixes. Oh, he looks happy. New enemy. The Reaper rival. A new challenger appears. The Reaper has entered the battlefield and is looking to take on the most formidable players. Yeah, let's zoom that in a bit. There's a chance for the Reaper to spawn if a region has seen an overwhelming amount of action and climb to region level 21 or above. The higher the region level, the higher the chance for the Reaper to appear. This is where I should play that Blue Oyster Cult, Don't Fear the Reaper. But I don't want my video getting flagged for copyright violation. Worth noting, the Reaper is unique, so don't expect to see more than one at a time on the map. As for what this new foe brings to the table, well, that's for you to find out. Oh, I see what they're doing. I'm going to be forced to live stream this shit later. The abilities of the Reaper will leave up to you to discover, although we know you'll figure out its secrets in due time. And the same goes for what loot the Reaper drops. Please tell us. We've shared some teasers and gameplay of the experimental sledgehammer that you can get, but that's not all that can be looted. Lastly, this enemy aims to provide a strong challenge for teams of players and isn't something that one should take on alone. So bring a friend or two. I wish I had a friend. Or preferably 3, to fight FNIX's most formidable machine yet. More additions and improvements outside of the Reaper. We've been working on some other game elements that we think you'll enjoy. I'm excited. Firstly, we've continued our round of updates to the game world, and we expect many of you to very quickly notice more changes to the Farmlands region. It looks like something big happened there and has caused plenty of destruction. It might be unknown what caused this at first glance, but walking around the area may give you some clues. We've also kept on track with expanding the crafting system by releasing some very requested aspects. Crafting your own ammo and first aid kits. Wow. Yes, you'll now be able to gather resources and start crafting more of the things you need to survive the harsh Ostoton. I butchered that, didn't I? Winters battling menacing machines. With all of our new additions, we ask that you give us feedback on what you like and don't like, so we can keep looking to improve the game for you. I tell you, and they do just that, don't they? Because this team has been so dedicated. I can't remember the last time I saw a development team work tirelessly around the clock, just update after update all the time. It's unbelievable. I always knew from day one this was going to be a diamond in the rough. I mean, from the first time I played it, no offense, your guns used to like auto zoom all over the place. It was a little wonky, but man, did I ever still stick to it. And to this day, I'm now pretty much to the day celebrating 2 years on YouTube. That is still the #1 game on my channel, Generation Zero. I've uploaded, I think I'm nearing like 200 videos or something. I can't remember, but it's a lot. Community report. We've toned down the number of reinforcements that a harvester can call in. Yeah. That's good. That was definitely required, no offense. Improve the ability to crouch and or go prone in certain situations so that you feel like you properly fit into the area you're hiding in. Item slots will remember your last equip item, so if you run out of first aid kits and then loot some more, it'll automatically be assigned to the same slot. Thank the Lord. We changed the way that the stamina bar looks and feels. Bug fixes, animation, and art. Fixed an issue where the transition between sprinting and walking could be somewhat jarring, or an issue where items would jump from one hand to another when swapping from a weapon to an item. Fixed an issue where a player would appear to be aiming their gun and standing while riding a bike. Or an issue where Kale's hair would look weird in specific lighting. Or an issue where the explosion at the end of We Are the Resistance could flicker drastically. Fixed an issue with scopes clipping into the weapon model of the Automatgewehr 5. Fixed an issue where the hazard jacket would block part of the screen when switching weapons. Fixed an issue where a detached part of a destroyed Apocalypse class tank would be transparent. You can't see me from certain angles. No. That was just new technology they're coming out with. I know the team. They're working on a cloaking thing. Fixed an issue where the wrong key 3D model was used in the main mission, Flying Blind. Fixed several LOD and object flickering issues. Crashes. Fixed a crash when players would jump and use a quick slot button at the same time. Or multiple crashes when various combinations of a host or client would exit to the main menu in a multiplayer session. Fixed a crash during the multiplayer joint sequence for the player joining, or various out-of-memory crashes. Machines. Remember, they're not robots. Fixed an issue where in some instances tanks would walk into hangars. Yeah, we don't want them doing that. Or an issue where tanks would get stuck and behave oddly near the hotel on Himfjall. Or an issue where the tank would sometimes use the wrong weapon for the situation, or an issue where the incendiary machine rounds from a tank would not properly spread to players who were near each other. Or an issue where hunters were still able to fire back while staggered by the experimental 12-gauge pump action shotgun. Fixed a few more instances of machine corpses floating or sliding away. What about the ones that you don't see, but you can hear them? Fixed a few more instances of machine corpses. Oh yeah, I've already read that, sorry. Fixed a few instances of hunters not properly repositioning when a player is behind cover, or an issue where hunters were continuing to fire their weapon even though they did not properly have line of sight on the player. I remember that. Fixed an issue where the harvesters were repeatedly firing missiles. Yeah, they need to calm down. Or an issue where some ticks using the wrong explosion type in certain instances, or an issue where sometimes melee weapons would not deal damage in multiplayer games. Missions. Ah, yes, I had given my feedback on a few of the missions that weren't working. I couldn't get to the next step, and I'll be checking that out on the PC a little bit later today. Missions, community report, fixed an issue where machines were not properly spawning in for the Alpine Unrest side mission, normal lives blocking progress. Or an issue where a mission step for fighting the future in FNIX Rising could be triggered and completed before the mission even started, blocking progress. Or an issue where machines were not properly spawning in for the FNIX Rising main mission where the sun sets, blocking progress. Or an issue where machines were not properly spawning in for the FNIX Rising main mission, tidal wave, blocking progress. Or where rivals were not spawning in for FNIX Rising main mission, piece by piece, blocking progress. And piece by piece, they are fixing the game. It's a beautiful thing. Fixed an issue where the objective icons for destroying the supplies were offset from the items in the main mission refueling. Fixed an issue where a side mission icon was incorrectly being used in the Alpine Unrest main mission, the Hellmouth. I think that might have been the one I was having issues with. Fixed an issue where no map icon appeared for the tank you needed to destroy in the Alpine Unrest side mission Last Resort. Sorry. This is driving me crazy. I keep getting texted here. Just give me a second. I'm recording right now. I can't talk. I like that. 7 in the morning and all of a sudden my phone goes off the hook. Fixed an issue where the interaction point appeared behind Anita in the Alpine Unrest main mission for the sick and injured. I actually don't remember the side mission that I was having an issue with in Alpine Unrest. Hopefully that one's been fixed. Fixed an issue where machine corpses could prevent the spawning of the truck in the FNIX Rising main mission Wages of Fear, blocking progress, or an issue where machines would not properly respawn after failing the FNIX Rising main mission Wages of Fear, blocking progress, or an issue where no map icon appeared for talking to Callie during the FNIX Rising main mission Wages of Fear. That's right. And I think that was the one where you escort him and Cal, however you pronounce his name, and I had to make a video on how do you find them if you failed the mission, because I had failed it. Damn it. Now everybody knows I was a failure. Fixed an issue where no compass icon was shown when tracking the FNIX Rising side mission in the face of adversity. Or an issue where map icons would not show up unless you opened and closed map during the FNIX Rising side mission in the face of adversity. Fixed an issue where the lootable icon would not disappear after looting the reward during or even after finishing the FNIX Rising side mission in the face of adversity. Fixed issues around objects popping in late on low graphical settings, causing players to not see the proper path to complete the race during the FNIX Rising side mission in the face of adversity. Fixed an issue where you would instantly fail the FNIX Rising main mission tidal wave a second time after failing it the first time, because it just knew you were a failure. History does repeat itself. Fixed an issue where an erroneous side mission icon would appear during the FNIX Rising main mission tidal wave, or an issue where the objective to kill machines would not properly update during the FNIX Rising side mission, Fighting the Future. An issue was fixed where an interaction point in the FNIX Rising side mission, Strength in Numbers, was hard to interact with. Well, that happens. Fixed an issue where an icon would incorrectly appear in world for some of the FNIX Rising missions instead of only the map and compass icons. Or an issue where there are inconsistent use of mission icons for various FNIX Rising missions. Or an issue where sometimes during multiplayer destroying a single machine for a mission objective would count as 2. Or where other players could not see the hacking device when they were planted in the FNIX Rising main mission test run. Or where sometimes the timer would not appear during the FNIX Rising main mission Goodnight, causing confusion. Fixed an issue where the timer would disappear during the FNIX Rising main mission Goodnight, causing confusion during the explosion. Well, at night, you've been up for a long time, especially if you've been up all night, you just get confused by that alone. Especially if you've been getting rocket launched and lasered and tasered and chewed on by ticks and tacks or whatever they're called for several hours, you start to lose it. Tweaked the classes and numbers of machines that are spawned for many of the missions in FNIX Rising to bring them more in line with the world spawned machines. Moving on to the UI, clarified the requirements for the brain power challenge in the truth tree to eliminate confusion. Well, isn't there a lot of irony in that title? I mean, think about it, brain power. You got to use your brain power to even figure out what the challenge is about. Don't ask. 4 hours of sleep. Players are now able to rebind the prone key. An issue where binding Q to strafe left would not work when aiming down the sights or using binoculars. Fixed an issue with the final tier of the off-the-grid challenge in the scout tree, counting harvester kills incorrectly. Fixed a few instances of the radiation damage icon not properly showing on a player's screen when they are under its effects. Or an issue where damage over time effects icons were not showing on a player at all if they got on a bicycle. Fixed an issue where the crafting tutorial would only trigger if you found a schematic in the world instead of from anywhere, example, looting a machine corpse. Or an issue where sometimes tracked rivals would not have their icons appear on the compass. They were in incognito mode. Is that the word? I don't know. Français tabarnak. Fixed an issue where the text could not be copied from the in-game chat. Or an issue with some extra magazines would show up when viewing weapons and menus. An issue where you could appear to store crafting materials in you item storage instead of your crafting storage. In your item storage in you, typo. And then it confused me. Speaking of confusion, I was confused there for a second. I was like, in me, what now? Fixed an issue where voice chat prompts would overlap with the quick slots. Or an issue where the button actions would not properly update when switching between your inventory and your storage item lists while looking at your storage. Where was I? There. We fixed an issue. Well, not me. I'm not a part of the dev team, unfortunately. Fixed an issue where sometimes ticks with no loot were lootable. What was being looted? That's what I want to know. Fixed an issue where the spawn location toolbar would remain on screen if the player was revived while viewing the map to pick a spawn location. Or an issue where sometimes the revive or spawn location toolbar would remain on the screen after dying. I've had that. Fixed an issue where the bicycle icons were sticking on the world map and in world even after a player tried to spawn multiple bicycles. Or an issue where players could get stuck watching the credits at the end of FNIX Rising if they had the chat window open when the credits start. Well, that's why. The dev team didn't want you to start babbling on with your friends during the credits. They worked really hard on that. They wanted you to pay attention. So, like, no, that's it. You're going to stay here. You're on a timeout. Think about what you did. That's probably not the reason, but we'll just go with that's the reason. Fixed an issue where the weight the player was holding was inconsistent between the storage box and the resource storage. Or an issue where the shoes icon for the apparel crafting station was incorrect. Or an issue where sometimes there would be missing text for interaction prompts if the hold to interact setting was set to off. Fixed an issue with icons and interaction prompts appearing on other players' bicycles, or an issue where the salute and air punch emotes were using the same icon, or an issue where Stenmyra had two icons. Weapons. Fixed an issue where a player's aim would not be affected by running out of stamina while holding their breath for a sniping shot. Well, maybe they've been working out for a long time. Fixed an issue where swinging melee weapons would generate too much noise and would end up alerting far, far, far away enemies. The world. Fixed an issue where some players could not see or be affected by machine weapon fire. Or an issue where some first aid kits found in the world had the wrong model for the item that was actually being picked up. Example, an advanced first aid kit, 3D model, but when looted, it was a standard. It was like, haha, you thought you had something good, but you didn't. Fixed an issue where the gnome at Mascar radar station would automatically be picked up when an explosion was triggered. Well, yeah, that makes sense because radar station would automatically be picked up because, it explodes and it just like the blast, it ends up in your pocket. It makes perfect sense to me. Fixed an issue where some hand-placed items in the world could only be picked up by the first player to grab them in a multiplayer game when everyone should have access to it. Fixed an issue where players would fall through a section of the bridge north of Stenmyra and on the bridge of Himfjall. Fixed an issue where some windows could be pushed right off of the house. I've seen that. And then I've fallen. That wasn't funny. Fixed an issue where players could get stuck in a tent at Brifkin's camping. Or an issue where the explosions at Mascar radar station would only play and deal damage to the player that triggered them, leading to a mismatch in experience for all of the players in the multiplayer session. Aww. Fixed an issue where weapons would sometimes shake like crazy in players' hands when they first join a game, especially melee weapons. It was just to let you know, hey man, this is some serious shit. Get your act together. This is not a regular game. This is epic. Okay, let's move on. Or an issue where players could throw field radios behind locked doors in order to bypass them. I know nothing about that. Fixed an issue where some NPCs in FNIX Rising could be pushed around their room. Hey, slap you around. Fixed an issue where a destroyed container door on the ground could be interacted with and would open, leading to the abyss. Fixed an issue where some fires were not causing fire damage. Or a few instances of weather appearing indoors. That was funny. It's like, why is it snowing inside my house? Fixed a few instances of players getting stuck on objects, or several issues of terrain and objects clipping through other objects. Fixed several issues of floating objects or visual holes in the world. They're sinkholes. They happen. Fixed several instances of excess or missing collision. Generally fixed an issue where it was quite common to get failed to connect message when attempting to play multiplayer, or fixed an issue where the fashionist achievement was not unlocking properly, and instead it was saying that you were a fascist. Get it? Fascist, fashionist. I was trying to be funny. It's called cringe comedy. Fixed an issue where the final countdown. Okay, and that's why I don't sing. Final countdown achievement was not unlocking properly. Fixed an issue where sometimes the eagle eye challenge from the survivor tree would be granted to you after another player actually completed the action. Well, it's called teamwork. That's the whole point of teamwork. Fixed an issue where a player could still join an invite-only game of a friend if they had the friends menu open before the first player changed the game setting. Up the max level region to 25 from 20. Added a blueprint collectible for the Apocalypse class harvester to the world. Nice. Various text tweaks for clarity, brevity, or eliminating clutter. Known issues. We're highlighting a few issues below that we know are pain points so that you know that we know and that we're investigating them. Again, not me. Some people sometimes down below in the comment section, they'll be like, do you know when you're going to fix this? And it's like, I'm not a part of the team. I'm just narrating the patch notes. So when they say we, us, I'm not actually a part of the team. I'd like to be, but I'm not. The bridge at Boo has gone missing, but it will be returning in the next update. Missing structures and holes in the ground at the FOA2 base near Normira Artillery Base will cause players to get stuck if they fall in. Fast traveling out of the hole is possible. Yeah, and will be fixed in the next update. Side mission icons incorrectly used for world locations near Der Bostlaten in the farmlands. Large boulders make it somewhat difficult to spawn bike at bike station for side missions in the face of adversity. In rare cases, if a host travels extremely far away from the truck and travels back, the truck will not respawn for the host. And a workaround is to recreate your game session, quit the game, and then continue. The num and numstar keys have issues with being rebound on German keyboards. Destroying the sight organs of a tank does not impair its sight ability. The reinforced truck can be inadvertently pushed off course by players or machines, but it will reorient itself. Some players are unable to complete the Hellmouth. That might actually be it. And for the sick and injured due to machines not being correctly counted when destroyed. Actually, that might be the mission that I was having issues with. Because I think I made the joke, this is hell. And it's ironic or a coincidence because there's hell in the title of my mission. I remember something about that and I wasn't able to do it. Damn it. Some players are unable to complete Science of Deduction. If they trigger the cave-in, well, that sounds like destruction to me, sequence before actually completing the mission. Some players may be unable to complete the Minkin Bunker mission even after they are able to gain access while having only 2 out of 3 keys. A potential workaround is to restart your game session, close the program, and then relaunch. And sadly, that's it. No, actually, that's a good thing because I have to go. I'm getting hungry. But if you liked the video, go ahead, give it a thumbs up. You didn't like the video, go ahead, give it a thumbs down. I'll make sure when you go to bed tonight, that's what you're going to hear. And you're going to be like, what the hell is that? You're going to turn on the light and all these ticks are going to be looking at you, tickling you and stuff like that, pulling on your pinky toe. And okay, that's enough of that. If you want to subscribe to the channel, naturally that would be fantastic now, wouldn't it? But if not, thanks for stopping by anyways. Take care, boys and girls, or whatever it is you identify as. And hopefully, maybe, I'll see at least some of you in the next video. Because I'm now going to go and load the game and keep playing it. Because, 5, 6, 7, 800, 1,000 hours wasn't enough to dump into this game on all platforms. PS4, Xbox, PC. What's next? Switch. That would have been a cool port. But anyhow, I shall see all of you soon. Maybe. Sorry, I'm half asleep. This is what I'm just going to end it now because this cut it.